Hi, everyone. This is Michelle Gramoglia, the president and CEO here at Woodland Pond at New Paltz, and this is my weekly address for a Tuesday. Today is Tuesday, January 10th, 2023. I'd like to start with a congratulations and a thank you for an amazing kickoff to our ArtScope season last night at 7 p.m. in the PAC. If you have not taken an opportunity to attend one of our ArtScope openings, I will tell you, you are missing out on something amazing. The artists that come in, the work that is displayed, the efforts of the ArtScope committee, now being led by Michelle Cacavano with some assistance by Al Chasen, the outgoing or former chair of the committee. It's really just astounding. The quality of the work right now, if you were to go into the PAC, and I hope that you do, and look at the work that's there. If you could have heard the stories last night from the artists about what you're actually looking at, I think that you would your mind would be blown because it's not what you think. The image of the crayons that looks like a photo is a watercolor. And the art to the left-hand side, when you're looking in the PAC, that looks like mixed media, which it is mixed media, each of those images is actually underlined by a photograph. And there's just so much more to it. These happen typically every 2 months, the art show openings. And it's really not a sales pitch. So if you're, sort of hesitant to come because you're afraid it's going to be a hardcore press on sales pitch, it's not that at all. It's really an introduction to the artists and an introduction to just incredible art that's being created here in the Hudson Valley and really the New Paltz area. So I would definitely encourage you to attend that. And congratulations again to Michelle and ArtScope and Al. Thank you so much for your continued help. In terms of some updates, we do have a new COVID positive case in a staff member. This is the first one that we've had on campus in quite a while. Weeks, that is, and she does work in assisted living, very mild symptoms. We will continue to monitor staff and residents, and of course, it's all the typical precautions, but there's no question that we are really kind of heavily within the flu and RSV and COVID season at this point. So just using, good judgment in terms of all kinds of communicable disease prevention, hand washing, can't emphasize that enough. I am fearful that people have been sort of getting a little bit lackadaisical about their hand washing. So it's really important. I know our hands crack and get dry this time of year if we wash too much, but it hasn't been particularly cold. So you should be able to sort of muscle your way through that. It's really important from an infection control perspective. And of course, masking if you feel like you want to. And, just being aware of folks that you're around that might have been exposed or be positive to one of these communicable illnesses. We want to keep the campus open. We want to keep the activities rolling. And the best way to do that is just to be vigilant. So I encourage that. We have had yet another situation where a resident has narrowly avoided sort of the worst case scenario via a scam. This was a resident that received a phone call asking for a whole variety of personal information. The resident provided a whole variety of personal information over the phone to the caller. And we're kind of getting to the point that this is happening in one way, shape, or form, definitely on a weekly basis. I mean, every single week, Ryan, our resident technology assistant, is being deployed to a resident to try to help unwind something that has happened because we've given private information over the phone, or we've given access to somebody through our computer, or we've included personal information on the computer. So I can't emphasize enough, it's okay to be rude. You should say no if somebody calls and asks you any kind of personal information. You should not be giving anything over the phone. You should not be giving any information out on the computer without questioning it. You really have to be vigilant. You are targeted without a doubt. It's just the reality of the age demographic and the fact that you are considered to be people of means, and that information is out there in the public. So our residents necessarily are going to be targeted for phone scams, mail scams, email scams, internet scams. So please be hyper vigilant of this, be non-trusting, and call us if you have any questions or need anything. We are trying desperately to help you protect your assets and your identity. But you have to really be paying attention and listen to the sort of drumbeat of don't give out personal information, don't give out personal information, don't give out personal information. Please, please, please. If you have any questions, you can see me, Jason, Ryan, Christy, Sarah, any of us, and we will help you with that. Parking. We have been seeing some a little strange parking lately. So when you're parking in our parking lots, really important that your car not extend over the sidewalk at all. So I know that there's sort of an inclination to drive all the way up until your tires bump the curb. But the problem with that is that then either the rear or the front of your car oftentimes will overlap the sidewalk by a lot. And that creates significant issues for folks using any kind of assistive devices here on campus. It creates an impediment for walking. And we really need you to make sure that your car, either rear or front bumpers, are not extending over the sidewalk. So please pay attention to that. Please also pay attention to the lines. You're supposed to kind of be in the middle of the white lines, and we're seeing people pulling in kind of crazy and extending over lines. Please make sure we have a copy of your keys in case we need to move your car, and definitely make sure that we know which car you have and which license plates so that if there's an issue, we can contact you. Jason has also asked me to remind everyone that as winter is sort of flirting with us, although not really here, it's really important that everyone on campus is starting their car at least twice a week, especially as it's colder. The colder it gets, the more important it is. But we cannot have folks that are not starting their cars. If you cannot start your car twice a week, please let us know and we can assist with that. And it's just really important because then if there's an issue, we can't have dead vehicles in the parking lot. So please make sure you're starting your car. And if you can't, please do let us know and we'll take care of that for you. Let's see. We've got a couple of calendar reminders from Gretch. Tomorrow we've got a meet and greet with our acupuncturist at 2 p.m. in the PAC. So if you are interested in learning more about acupuncture and the acupuncturist that we have here on campus that can come and provide services for you, please do attend that tomorrow, that meet and greet tomorrow in the PAC at 2. And we've got a PAC add-on for Thursday. So 2 p.m. in the PAC, you will be able to see a performer named BB Farmer. And BB Farmer will be performing beloved pop hits of the last 50 years in the PAC. So if you'd like to attend that, you are more than welcome to. The last thing I just wanted to mention relates to my address from last week, which was heavy on content. And I just want to make it clear, it's sort of taken on a life of its own. But if you would, please do watch it again if you have any questions. I tried to be extremely careful about, sort of saying that I do not know what Woodland Pond is going to do with the information that we have at hand, and that I was simply expressing the data and the concerns, and that much more conversation needs to be had among my leadership team and certainly the Mental Health and Wellness Task Force as to what we do with the information that, as is being seen in the public, there's no question that there is definitely an uptick in alcohol consumption here on campus and concerns about mixing with prescription medications. So words have definitely gotten twisted. I'd like you to please look at it again if you have any questions, specifically related to the statistics. It's really important. That was coming directly from scientific article. That was not information that I fabricated or made up. I mean, I'm reading right from an article. So it's scary stuff, but it's real stuff. And I don't know what Woodland Pond is going to do with the information, but I do not feel like it's appropriate that we can just ignore the fact that we are seeing this significant uptick in alcohol consumption, accidents related to alcohol consumption, folks that have indicated that they feel that they are consuming too much alcohol and needing to take a break on that. And they're articulating that to us. This did not happen before COVID. We are seeing interactions happening with medications. So we have a needle to thread here, because on one hand, this is independent living in the independent living part of the community. And on the other hand, residents and families do look to us to take some care of them. So we are going to navigate this one just like we navigate everything else. But last week's address was really just to sort of lay the groundwork that this is what we're seeing. We're not spying on you. We're not counting bottles in the waste room. We are just noticing that these things are happening, and maybe we do decide to ignore it, but we do have to just kind of put the white elephant in the room on the table, which is that this is an issue that we are dealing with on this campus. So again, please do watch the address again if you have questions. We are just barely breaking the surface in terms of, where we're going to go with this. The Mental Health and Wellness Task Force hasn't even discussed it yet. I envision a significant educational component at a community-wide level as a starting point. And from there, I don't know, but I'm not committing to anything because we have a lot to discuss. But the numbers are the numbers. And, we know exactly how much wine is being sold in the dining room, and we can compare it to where we were before COVID, and it's up. The prescriptions are up. So, it's a lot. So we're going to work on it. This is nothing that's going to be addressed immediately, and we're not committing to anything. And I don't want, the fear that this is going to turn into a police state or a Big Brother situation to happen, because it's never happened before. But we do have a real situation that's happening, and that's mirroring what's happening in the public. And we have to decide as a community, are these the kinds of things that, there's some kind of an intervention role by anybody here on campus. So we're going to navigate it. We're not there yet. It's just laying down the groundwork. So there will be more to come on this. If you have anything that you would like to talk to me about, I am in the remainder of the week. Monday is a work holiday for those of us that have offices, and then I will be in the remainder of next week, Tuesday through Friday. One final reminder, starting next week, Philip Mail, our Director of Long-Term Care, will begin his sabbatical, which will last 3 months, and I will be covering for him. So you will see Cameron helping with some of my workload and my executive team helping with some of my workload, but I will still be around on campus every day and available for meetings and so forth. So I will talk to you all soon, and I hope you have a great rest of your day. Thank you.